Your party stumbles into the library of some evil wizard, and they find a series of scrolls and a map. The mere idea that they exist is considered heresy, and to do anything with them except destroy them is blasphemy. Your party, of course, decides to take a look at them, and they mention the horrible place known as Hellwell. As I mentioned in the introduction video to Hellwell, Hellwell was designed to be a place to kill characters. You know, it's heresy to mention it, and it's blasphemy to go and visit Hellwell. So your party decides to go up the mountain where Hellwell exists. And people, you can't find anyone who wants to guide you there because it's just such a horrible place. The pathway up the mountain, there you see the old markers that are there, but you can tell that no one has been this way in a very, very long time. There's still markers denoting the path, and you go up to the mountain. And then you notice that the side of the mountain is unusual. Unlike the normal craggy type of mountain, the side of Hellwell looks like it's been sculpted a bit. It's much smoother than you would expect. And the path leads up the mountain, doing through various switchbacks. And you finally get to the upper part where you could think you might see the entrance. And you notice that the pathway now is polished rock. The rock has been sculpted and smoothed. And it comes up, and the pathway, first off, is quite wide going up the mountain. It's 10 feet wide, and then it gets narrower to 5 feet. And then you notice that it suddenly narrows to a smooth 6-inch ledge. It's not designed for people to go up here. It's 6 inches wide of smooth, polished rock. There are no handholds. And you see off about 200 feet in the distance a platform. So now if your party's high enough that you could fly or levitate or something, then you possibly can get there. If you're not, you got to go along this 6-foot ledge. But there are no handholds in getting there. So we'll assume the party manages to get to the platform. It's the large platform. That's where you see the inscription. The inscription reads, "Go away. This is not a place to be. If you do try to enter here, you will fail and also be cursed. If somehow you succeed, then do not complain that you entered unwarned, nor bother us with your deathbed prayers. The gods." So as part of your research and what you found in the cursed book that was scribed by some mad wizard, you find the way to open the lock, sealing the massive doors. And you do the manipulation, and the doors start to open. On the platform, you step back, and the doors swing open with a loud clang. And up coming out of the depths of this place is a horrible burning stench that smells of sulfur and death, and it assails your nostrils and your eyes, and you see in there. But you also know that the sound reverberated through the cavern that's presented before you, and you know that there is no surprise. You've announced your entrance into this massive death trap. So, your party takes its first tentative steps forward. And again, just like outside, there's a large wide pathway open. It starts at about 10 feet wide and quickly opens up into 50 feet wide, going down into the depths at about a 15% incline. So what do? Well, okay, you're already cursed. You've stepped into some place you're not supposed to be. So you step forward, and you're the leader of the party, or the one who's in the steps forward and walks down this gentle incline down into the horrible depths. And as you get about 50 feet into Hellwell, the massive doors behind you slam shut with a loud bang, again announcing to everyone that food is on the way. So you continue your steps on down, and the floor is now getting a little bit damp and slippery, and it's polished rock. The floors are there, so you're creeping down through there. So let's assume, as was done in the past when I've ran this, they send out, the first person in the lead is out there stepping through there, carefully looking around, but it's so massive. I mean, the ceiling has disappeared into the darkness. You cannot see. It's so high up. You can't see the ceiling. And even if you fly up, it's still fairly high up. I'll get into the dimensions in another video. And you step forward, and the leader is stepping forward, and he comes up, and the party's a little, you've got plenty of room. You're a little bit spread out, and you're cautious. And he steps forward, and he suddenly realizes he stepped on a pressure plate. But the pressure plate is not your little pressure plate. The pressure plate that he stepped on is 50 feet wide as the corridor. And he goes, "Oh no, what have I done?" Well, it's not him. What happens is the pressure plate opens up a section behind him that's on a pivot. The entire floor, all 50 feet wide of the floor and 150 feet long, pivots, slips down like this, and like I said, it's wet and polished, into a cavern 100 feet deep, and at the bottom are spikes that are poisoned. So anybody who was on there who doesn't manage to survive dies at the first trap. And you notice that there are lots of dead bodies down there, but they're all these spikes, and they're covered with a very strong, very fast-acting poison to kill and not to maim. And what happens is then, as he lifts his foot off, the trap door slips back because it's counterweighted, closing those doomed souls down in the trap. Like I said, Hellwell is designed to kill characters, to kill parties. I've had entire parties die on the first trap. That's the first trap inside. Some haven't survived getting into the dungeon. So that's the introduction to Hellwell, or the first room. You haven't even got into the central chamber or yet, but this is an introduction to a very, very deadly place. I look forward to learning what you think about this video and of Hellwell. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, press the thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I like either. I like to get some feedback. If you're new here and want to subscribe, there's a button for that. If you're interested, there'll be some links to some more content on the right. Thank you.